All right, we're out at the home of Michelle Barragan and spent some good time out there this morning just looking at some of the needs of her home as far as the siding goes. Unfortunately, she did the siding a while ago, and I think we said about 8 years ago or so, and it was kind of misrepresented that it was actually Hardie plank when really it's just masonite. So we're pretty excited. We get to get out here and fix it correctly and do it right, so she never has to fool with any of the problems that we're seeing now, such as rot and paint deteriorating and everything else. So it's going to look beautiful when we're all done. Really excited about seeing the finished product here. So we are doing a fascia overlay. We are doing a paint and caulk of the soffit, and then we're replacing all the sidewall siding with the Hardie Cedar Mill Select 8 1/4. Up front, we are going to paint these garage doors. They are newer garage doors from Overhead, so good doors. We're just going to put a fresh coat of paint on them. We're going to wrap both of the garage door frames here in Hardie, and then that little apron above the garage door will be done in the Hardie plank as well. One variation to what we're doing here, you can kind of see the flashing that's been put there and there at the ends of the gable, just from the critters just sitting there kind of gnawing on things. So we are going to do, of course, the freeze board, which is the little 1x2 transition from the soffit to the sidewall. That is going to be Hardie, so they can't chew on that anymore. But we're going to go ahead and do some Hardie soffit right here and right here, just to prevent the critters from sitting and perching up there and snacking on the soffit. Everywhere else, other than this little gable over the garage, will be just a paint and caulk on the soffit. That's pretty much everything we have here. Again, the gutters, she's going to work directly with Chris or Chad to take the gutters down. We are not including that in our scope of work, and she will work with them directly to accomplish that. We got one window here. We have a there's a garage entry door right here. Ben is actually going to help, is actually her son-in-law, is going to help her with some of this work, but he's going to throw a new door on here, and then we will paint this door just like we're going to paint the two garage doors. This window, this door, the storm door, needs to come off and be reinstalled, which is included in our work. This window, this door, and this window, as well as this garage entry door here, will all be trimmed out in Hardie 1x4. There's 3 aprons above each of these windows and door, and those will all be done in Hardie as well. Now, from this side, chimney looks to be in decent shape. Not so much once we get over here. Ben has actually replaced and reinstalled some flashing up there because they were having critters getting into the attic. So that's going to be a huge help having that done in Hardie. All the corner trim, as well as the sidewall area of the chimney, will be done in Hardie. And then we can just face, kind of like a fascia overlay on the capping up top up there. But the chimney, all sides up above the roof line, and then the chimney down here below will all be done in Hardie plank. As we make our way around to the side here, this really was what we were focusing on today as being the major issue of why why I was even here today for an appointment. And after we talked about that and looked at kind of some of the value and the savings, we actually decided to, actually Michelle made the decision to do the whole project as opposed to just this side. So definitely a good call, get it all done and never have to worry with it again. But originally this side is really our problem child. As you can see, there's a gable vent up here. We are doing a full tear off. That gable vent up there, we will just reuse that, and it'll be painted, but we're gonna reinstall it and then trim it out with Hardie 1x4. Ben installed this basically like we see a lot of times just to prevent that rot. Caulked it all up, did a really nice job actually. But back behind there, we talked for a little while. We are definitely going to have to replace some base plate, and we're also going to have to probably scab in some studs that have been damaged from water. So definitely accounted for the rot that we're going to see on this side. There's also some bubbling right from this corner trim. All the trim is failing on the corners, so that'll all be replaced with Hardie. Electrical we're going to pull away and then reinstall, and that is all included. And also included is some base plate and also stud replacement. In all areas, all sides of the house, what Michelle would like us to do is inspect the insulation. I did not charge for insulation in the job, but she's well aware that if we find out when this siding was done, they were supposed to have put insulation in the wall. Don't know if that happened based on some of the other things that were misrepresented to her that were supposed to be done as part of this job. So we kind of approached it from a standpoint of we're going to assess what insulation is in the wall. Once we do that, then we can determine, do we add insulation into the job, which will be done on a change order, or is it sufficient? So we would probably definitely like to show her that, just so she can see what is actually behind the wall, and she can see for herself, you know, what the condition is. So again, if we need insulation, it will be done on a change order, and will be added to the job. That's what we really have to expect here on this left side. This was, like I said, the worst area of the house by far. And you can see just seams were split. Ben caulked all this up, thankfully, just as a stopgap. But there is definitely, you know, this siding is swelled, and you know, it just is, you can tell there's some underlying issues. Okay. Come over here. Of course, the gliding door, the 2 windows will all be retrimmed in Hardie. We got full guttering across the back. So that will come down as part of the gutter work, and then we'll do our fascia overlay. Some minor issues back here, but nothing. There's some swelling right here, but nothing where it's to the condition that was on the left side. So pretty straightforward again here, full tear off. The roof is new, so that's why we're doing a fascia overlay, so as to not disrupt the flashing and everything else. So we could have potentially done a fascia overlay, but it would have incurred quite a bit more expense with the drip edge, the metal drip cap, and then also run the potential risk of damaging her newly installed roof. Back is pretty straightforward. And then as we come over here to the right side, got a couple sump pumps. She showed me pictures. Literally, this is like a mini lake here when it rains. So she's got 2 sump pumps over here working, trying to offset some of that water. Again, not a major issue over here. There's some minor, very minor swelling, you know, at the start point of the siding, but nothing major in terms of rot or deterioration. That gate post, she's totally fine with that having to be removed, that 4x, so we can get back to the siding. We got a gable vent again and a window that will both be retrimmed in Hardie. And a bunch of these wires, you know, she's gonna try to find out which ones of these are dead and which ones we can tear off, and the ones that are still hot or still active we can leave on, obviously. But again, fascia overlay, caulk and paint the soffit on this side, and that's pretty much, again, what we're looking at. It goes all the way up beyond the gate and transitions right into the brick. That transition trim will be Hardie as well, just like any of the corner trim here, top to bottom, that will all be Hardie as well. But again, major opportunity to make a change here. I'm really excited to see what it looks like after we're done. It's going to look like a new house. So I'm really excited about that, and I know Michelle is too. But really great to visit with both y'all today, Michelle and Ben. Really appreciate your time and your focus and your attention as we talk through, you know, how we might be able to help the house out, and really look forward to working with both y'all. Thanks so much again, and we'll look forward to getting this done for you.